Hi friends, welcome back to the Goose and Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley and I am the designer and maker behind Goose and Ghost Knits. I'm coming to you today, as I always do, from Seattle, Washington, where it's actually snowing. So of course I had to pull out a knit to wear, as I do every episode, but this time it's like, I feel so much more satisfactory. I'm enjoying it. And I've got a nice hot drink. I made myself a ticino, which if you don't know, it's a chicory coffee. There's no caffeine in it at all, which is great because I'm allergic to caffeine. So it's ticino with a white hot chocolate. So it's a nice little kind of white mocha going on. Delicious, feels exciting, feels great. And I'm in a different spot today because I filmed my episode last week, my Make 9, next to my Christmas tree, and it felt so good that I was like, I'm gonna do it again. I should turn my Christmas tree on. Much better. So exciting! So, 'tis the season. Anyway, sweater that I am wearing. This is my favorite sweater that I've ever knit. Just the combination of how it feels, how it fits, and how it looks, and how much I learned working on it, all of the above combined, favorite sweater I've ever knit. So this is the Haven by Kate Oates, and it's a fingering weight colorwork sweater. And I knit it in the main color being Cascade Heritage in the color Bark. And all of this beautiful color work is Sorella yarn in the Big Thunder Mountain colorway from the Disneyland collection. So it's just a really pretty variegated orange, brown, cream, tan colorway, and I think it just works up so beautiful, and the two yarns look so good together. And the big thing that it's a fingering weight sweater, so it just feels like so easy to wear. But the big thing that I said that I learned with it, and I learned something huge, is try it on before you bind off the body. When I did, it was comically short, and I knit it to the dimensions that was recommended in the pattern. And I will never make that mistake again. I will try it on and make sure that it is appropriate length for my body, in both cropped and full length sweaters. But I did not want to tear out my my bind off, because the bind off on this took me 3 hours because it's fingering weight, you guys. So there's a lot of stitches around. I keep saying it's fingering weight, but this was the first fingering weight sweater that I knit. Everything I had knit up to this point was like a bulky weight sweater. So that's a huge change. So that was an accomplishment for me in and of itself. So I ended up doing sweater surgery for it, where I cut off right above the bottom ribbing and knit another, I think I want to say it was like 4 or 5 inches, and then Kitchenered the bottom ribbing and the new stitches all back together. And now I know how to do it, and now I can hope that I never have to do it again, because I will be thinking ahead. So, great lessons all around. Hopefully some that I will never have to act on again. So, should we get into the knitting and a little bit of sewing this week? Just a little bit. But I've got some FOs, some whips, no acquisitions because my last episode was so acquisition heavy, and I'm trying really hard not to go ham on more. But Christmas will have happened by the next episode, so there may be some acquisitions in the next one. So, shall we get started? First FO is my stocking. I have been working on this for a while. This is the Vintage Toys by Ursula Almeida, and it's still a little bit damp because it's still blocking. I need to go lay it back out as soon as I'm done filming this and clip all my ends. But here we go. So there's a marker right here. So this is where I was at on the last episode. So I finished this whole chart, the last ribbons chart, the toe, and the afterthought heel. So this is Vintage Toys. And I've been hyping up at the same time the other pattern that I've knit in this collection from Ursula Almeida for my fiance last year for his stocking. So I finally pulled it out. So A, I could double check all of the stocking stuffers that I got this year actually fit in his stocking. B, so I could show it to you. So, oh, look at that beautiful crease. Flip it over. Oh, there's another one. Okay, whatever. This is his stocking. This is the Fresh Pines pattern. It's just got mountains and the truck, some snowflakes and trees, and this one's perfect for Colin because he has a big truck that he loves very, very much. So these are the two stockings together. So, I love them. They're so great. And I'll have both pattern pages linked down below. And I'm going to go put this one back on the blocking board, which is just going to be my bed. So it can finish drying. It was making me laugh when I got to the end of this where I had like just started working on it for the day after, right here. Colin burst in the room and he's like, when are you going to finish that? I need you to finish it because I need to use it. He's never begged me to finish a project before, so it was making me laugh that the project that he needed me to finish was my stocking. And he was like, hurry up. Alright, stockings. Done. The other FOs that I have are sewing. I say FOs because there's 4 of them. They're all the same, different. These are my bridal party proposal bags. And they're not very aesthetic. They're not very eye-pleasing, but they're fandom-pleasing and soul-pleasing. And you know what? Everyone that I'm asking to be at my bridal party are vastly different people. And it didn't make sense to me to do like those cute little bridal party proposals where they all look exactly the same and they all have the same things in them. It didn't make sense to me. So I tailored each gift to each of my friends. So we'll go through them real quick. And I will link the video, the tutorial that I used down below. And these are kind of like they're way down because they have started putting things in them. But this one is for my best friend and maid of honor, whose favorite princess is Mulan. And so she's got Mulan on the outside and a plaid check on the inside, and all of them have these really nice netting straps. in the first couple things that have arrived for the gifts. So most of the gifts are the same. They're just kind of like customized to each person. Like, I'll pull out. We've got some eye masks. Everyone has a different flavor ring pop. Everybody has a different flavor and character of Basin Disney lip balm, which Basin makes my favorite lip balm ever. And the fact that they have Disney characters on them, because there's a possibility we're going to Disney World for my bachelorette. And all of us love Disney. And all of our favorite grapefruit beer. All of us have the same, like, sentimental memories attached to it. So, my sister, her favorite princess is Merida, and it is so hard to find Merida things. And she also has the check on the inside. My other friend who really loves Spider-Man, and they also have the check on the inside. The only one who doesn't have the check on the inside is my brother, who has Pokemon. And then I was running out of fabric, so it was Pokemon on the top and Star Wars on the inside. So those are all done. I'm waiting on a couple more things to arrive. I am very displeased with Ulta right now because their customer service has been fantastic and their shipping has been fantastic. So waiting on a couple more things to arrive, and then yeah, they're all gonna get some fun tote bags. So that's all I've got for FOs. And that's really mostly all that I've got for sewing this week too. I've got like a goal sewing thing that we can talk about at the end. So, let's move on to whips. I have 3 whips, and I think they're the same 3 whips as last week, other than the or last episode, other than the stocking, which has now been completed. But we'll just go through them one by one. We've got my super fun avocado Christmas bag that's holding my advent calendar. And I am knitting the Freckled Whimsy 24-day self-striping sock calendar. So we've got spoilers on here up until December 19th. So I'm sure all of you are further ahead of, like, I'm not behind. I am dead on, but I'm sure you'll be seeing this after the 19th. So I think I was like right here on the last episode. So since then we have gone through all of these colors. So this is today, this really pretty gray. And I just finished this block of pink and purple, and I'm really glad to be over with it. I was okay with this block of pink up here because, like, it felt like it mishmashed into all the rest of it, but this last block of pink and purple, I wasn't liking it very much. And in the last episode too, I had only had 1 sock going because I didn't have a second set of 9-inch circulars. I do have the second sock going now. I haven't done today's stripe on the second sock because I thought it was more important to start filming the podcast and I could knit on the second stripe while I'm editing, because it really doesn't take much time. Each stripe is like 4 or 5 rows, so it's not that much work. But let me tell you the saga of an adventure that I had trying to find a second 9-inch circular. So I live in an area that is very dense with yarn shops. Very lucky to have it. Within like a 10-15 minute drive, there are 3, and then if I add just a little bit more time, like if I go to 20 to 25 minutes, there's another 3 yarn shops. So I live in a very yarn shop heavy area. A couple weekends ago, we went to one of the 3 that's close by. They don't carry ChiaoGoo 9-inch circulars. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I can go check on the other 2. So I Googled their websites, and the first one that I Googled, they don't carry ChiaoGoo at all. They only carry like Addy and Haya. Okay, sure, whatever. Googled the last one that's very close by me, which is actually the one that's closest to my house, like literally 3 minutes away. And their website said, yeah, we carry ChiaoGoos, we carry ChiaoGoo 9-inch circulars, and we carry the US ones. Perfect. And all of them, like, they were in an online shop, so I could click buy on the online shop and like go pick up in store. So my fiance and I head over there and walk in. I'm like, hey, where can I get these? She's like, oh, they're behind the counter. What size do you need? And she pulls out all of the 9-inch circulars, and there was just a US 3 and a US 0. And she's like, we're discontinuing them. We're not going to carry them anymore. So they're actually just, we don't have any more. So I went to 2 shops and searched for a third, and none of them have them. I didn't think that they would be this hard to find. Like, I thought my favorite yarn shop, which is a little bit further north, it's in the area that I grew up in, they don't carry like ChiaoGoo interchangeables, but they carry ChiaoGoo fixed. And I was like, okay, great. This is how it's going to be at all yarn shops. Everybody's going to have their own like interchangeable set, but whatever. And I've gotten most of my ChiaoGoo's fixed needles from them. I didn't think it'd be this hard to find 9-inch circulars, but apparently it was, so I had to order from Amazon. I didn't want to, but I didn't have the ability to go anywhere else. So now I know for the future that 9-inch circulars are going to be a little bit harder to find. I have 2 now though, so I don't know if I need. I have 2 US 1s, a US 1.5 and a US 3 for DK weight socks. I don't know if I'm going to need any more. Let's move on to the next whip. This is Muscle Burrow by Isolde Teague, and I am knitting it in Serial Knitter's Dye House on her Wild Scug base in the color Mystic Blue. And this is a Christmas gift for my fiance. And this is how far we are. So I've knit from right here since the last episode, and I am only working on this while I'm at work on my breaks and lunches, because I obviously don't want him to see it. So I have to work on it while I'm out of the house, and it's only like 10, 15, 20 minute increments, because I still need to use the bathroom and eat and talk to my coworkers during my break. So it's not like I have 15 minutes, 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch every work day. I'm not spending that whole hour knitting. It's broken up. So distance here, and I have a couple more inches to go before I start the decreases. So this needs to be done by Christmas Day so I can give it to him so he can wear it snowboarding. And I'm not knitting it to the length that is listed in the pattern. I don't think he would appreciate a slouchy hat, but he would like the fold over. So I took one of his favorite hats and measured it, and I'm going off of those measurements. So I'm going to 19 inches before starting decreases, where I think in the pattern she recommends 21 3/4. So we're going to eliminate the slouch, which is great because I don't have time. So I just moved up the stitch marker to the top for tracking. Oh, I'm not even going to be able to show you because it'll be done and blocked and gifted by the next episode. So I'm plotting out what color I'm making for my next, because I'm casting on one for myself as soon as it's done. And I'm really excited for it. I wish that it would be done in time for me, for my own, in time for us to go snowboarding the week after Christmas. It won't be, but his will be. So I will dig out another hat that I've made for myself for snowboarding. All right. It'll probably be one of the ribbed hats that I've made with Lion Brand Hue and Me, because it's big and cozy and it'll keep me warm. But I'm sure there'll be pictures posted. Okay, last whip, we have got the sweater that has caused me all of the stress in the last couple of weeks. So, okay, so last episode I was talking about how my hopes and dreams and endeavors with my Christmas sweater. And I had this swatch which you can't see through it at all, like it's opaque. I guess you can see my finger moving, but it's like, it's solid. But the gauge for the sweater was 12 stitches and 17 rows, and this is 15 stitches and 20 rows. So that's way off, and the sizing on this pattern, not inclusive, not great, kind of sucks, could be way better. It only goes up to a 3X, but it's a 2X, 3X combined. That could be better. Camilla Vad, please expand the sizing on this sweater because it is lovely. And it would be fantastic if it was size inclusive. So, next I had, I did end up doing another swatch with, so this was with a US 10 and a half, sized up to a 13 because I was so far off. Got gauge exactly, but I mean, you can see right through the swatch. I hated this swatch. I hated the fabric. It was so loose and gapey. I didn't like it. So I was about to give up completely, because if I'm not going to get gauge, I'm not going to be happy with this. And I was this close to saying, nope, I'm done. I'm going to cast on the Wellerman shawl by Caitlin Hunter. And that'll be my Christmas garment for the year. And at the last second, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do one more swatch just to see what happens. So I did one more swatch with a US 11. And it came out like this, but you can still see through it. It's not nowhere near as bad as this one though. I only did half a swatch for the last one because I was running out of steam. I was getting real annoyed. So, the fabric is okay. It's not as good as the first one. Not as bad as the second one. So I was like, you know what, I can roll with this. What did the stitches turn out to? And it was 17 rows and 13 stitches. I was like, I can do that. I can mess with that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to cast on a different size than I normally would. Here's where the saga continues. I was like, okay, so my gauge is tighter. That means I need a smaller size. I'll cast on the medium instead of the large. Sweet. Do any of you see the flaw in that logic? Because I saw the flaw in the logic. 10 rows into the collar. If your gauge is tighter, your fabric is going to be less. It's going to be less than what is given. So I should have cast on the size larger instead of the size smaller. I should have cast on the extra large instead of the medium. But I was only on the collar, and logically, I should have just ripped back and started over. But I was like, you know what, I have had it up to here with trying to figure out this pattern. I'm going to keep going. But I'm going to alter it so that I can get to the correct size after the collar. The collar is supposed to be a folded over and seamed collar. But I said, you know what, I already have less stitches than I'm supposed to. It wasn't a lot. I think it was only like 8 stitches less. I'm not going to do the folded over collar. I'm going to do a straight collar, cut the stitches in half so it's the same length, and then on the first round before I start the chart for the lace, I'm going to do a rapid increase to the number of stitches that I'm supposed to be at. Worked out great, worked out fine. So we've got just a straight collar, and I tried it on for the first time yesterday right before I split for sleeves. It works fine. It's totally great. And you can't even tell that there's an extra row in between the charts and the collar where it's knit. It worked out fine. I am not fussed about it at all. So here is where we're at on it. And mind you, this has to be done for Christmas in, today's the 19th. I have to wear it for Christmas Eve on the 24th. So 5 days. I have 5 days to finish this sweater. And here's where I'm at. It's going fantastic, you guys. This is going so fast now that I've finished all of the lace and baubles. So I am at 5.5 inches on after sleeve separation. Recommended is about 9 inches. Everything in the pattern is in centimeters. My brain doesn't work in centimeters, so I'm converting everything to inches, even though, you know, measuring tapes do have inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. I can't be like, oh, visually just see like, oh, that looks like 10 centimeters. My brain doesn't do that. I can be like, oh, that looks like 4 inches. Yeah, we're good. Even though they are basically the same. So I'm converting everything over to inches because I am a dumb American. But I'm at 5.5 inches on the body. She recommends going to about 9 inches. And actually for once, it might be the correct length for me because you do another 2 3/4 inches of ribbing. But so it'll be like, what's that? Almost 12 inches body, which is generally great for me. I might add 1/2 inch to 1 inch before ribbing. I'll try it on and find out. But the other reason why that might be perfect for me too is because my stitch gauge was tight, but my row gauge was dead on. So the yoke extends a little bit further past where it's supposed to land on my body because I should have knit the size large. The size extra large has some extra room right here. So there's some extra room from my armpits right here. Like, there's some extra room underneath my armpit from where the sleeve separation is. So it might end up being okay. And I will let you know in the next episode, once it's done, how it turned out, where I needed to end ribbing. Or you can also follow me on Instagram, where I will happily share all of that in my stories this week as I'm rushing to finish. But really, like, I think I can finish the body today. Today is my day off work. I can finish the body today. The sleeves, I fully expect each sleeve to take me one afternoon after work. Hopefully, I only have 3 days left of knitting on this. I am not going to have time to block it, to wet block it, which is my preference, but I will steam block it before wearing it on Christmas Eve. But I am really happy with this. I think it looks so cute. And I think it's gonna look so, like, feel so Christmassy. And I love this color. I love dark colors on me because I am so pale and my hair is dark. I think it just looks so good. And especially like this really rich, warm color. I'm so happy with it. The yarn I am using, I guess I should tell you that. Wool of the Andes worsted in Merlot Heather. And I'm almost out of my skein of mohair, so I'll grab a new one to show you. And Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Claret. And these two together end up looking like this. Beautiful! I'm pleased. I'm so happy. So let's get this knocked out. Get this finished so I have another nice, cozy, warm Aran weight-ish sweater. And then I can move on to, I think the next sweater I knit is going to be another fingering weight one. I haven't decided which one in my Make 9 is going to be first, but I'm debating back and forth between two of them. Should I make my stripey Cozy Classic Light, which is just a basic raglan, or the Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry? Which one should I cast on first? I am debating and I'm not sure which one I want to do first. But one of those two will be the first one cast on in the new year from my Make 9. And the next sweater that I work on after this. So that's all I've got going. So obviously this week we've got Christmas on Saturday. On Christmas Eve I have the brand new sock pattern that I will be releasing with Yarnaceous Fibers for the Christmas Eve cast on box releasing. And if you didn't purchase the cast on box, the sock pattern will still be available for purchase. You can still buy your copy on Christmas Eve. I am so excited to share it. I am so excited to share the socks, the pattern, the yarn, all of it. I'm so excited to share more. And I'm so excited for what Maggie of Yarnaceous and I have coming in the new year and throughout 2023, because we have some plans. So keep your eyes open. I will upload a little short on Christmas Eve with all of the links to purchase the pattern when it comes out. So keep an eye out for that. You can also follow me and Maggie, Yarnaceous Fibers, on Instagram, and links for both of us will be down below. And of course, there'll be lots of updates on there when it releases. So my battery light just started flashing, so I guess that's my cue to start wrapping up. I want to talk about my goals for the next 2 weeks, because I actually wrote them down this week and I have some big goals. So first one, I want to finish all of my whips. All of them in theory should be done by Sunday, 1 week from today. So in the Muscle Burrow and Magnolia Bloom both need to be done for Christmas. So I can wear the Magnolia Bloom on Saturday and Sunday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The Muscle Burrow needs to be done by Christmas Day so I can give it to my fiance. And the Advent socks, in theory they'll be done Christmas Day, but I'm not going to like force myself to finish them Christmas Day if it's not what's gonna happen. That said, I think they will be. So first goal, finish all my whips. Second goal, I have the whole week off after Christmas and I'm so looking forward to it. This year has been intense, so it'll be really nice to get some time off. And I decided that I'm going to cast on a new design that I've been thinking about, which is actually a design that I started in February and put down because it wasn't going very well. So I've come back to it with some fresh eyes and new yarn, and this is what the pattern will be done in. It'll be a shawl in Kelborn Woolen Scout, which is a DK weight yarn. This is the color Strawberry Heather, and a skein of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Claret that I will have left over from my Magnolia Bloom. And these will not be held together, but they will be worked up together. So that's next. And next goal is to start a new dress, a new sewing pattern. So I have this pattern for McCall's. It's number M8312, and this is what it looks like. So I want to do this top with this skirt, so it just has a little ruffle at the bottom. This one doesn't, but these sleeves I think are really cute. They just kind of fall, and then they have a, like, they taper, not taper, but they have like cuff here. So I want to make that, and I've got this fabric to make it. So those are my making goals, and my last goal is to be gentle with myself. This week is going to be very hard with work and life and just things going on. So I need to be gentle with myself, and that is a great reminder for everyone else as well. This time of year is stressful. Seasonal depression is real. Holidays are stressful. Just, there's a lot going on in a lot of people's lives, or even if there's not anything going on, that can be a stressor too. So be gentle with yourself, do little acts of self-care that will make big impacts and really like help sustain you through the next couple weeks. So that's all. Alright, so my goal was to upload a video every weekend in December, but I might not next weekend. I'm kind of at a loss of what to upload. I don't know what to talk about. I was going to do every sweater that I knit in 2022, but I kind of realized that for the most part that's just overlapping with my Make 9 video I made last week, which please go check it out. I had so much fun going over it. I talk about what I accomplished in my Make 9 for 2022 and what I want for my Make 9 in 2023. So please go check it out. But other than what was on my Make 9, I only knit 3 other sweaters, so I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to make another video. And this week is going to be a lot. So stay tuned. I may or may not upload on this upcoming weekend, but there will be one last podcast for the end of the year. So please subscribe so you can check that out, and give this video a like. Comment down below with what your holiday plans are coming up. I'm excited to hear what you're doing for New Year's, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, solstice, Yule, all of the above. I'm really excited to hear. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.